G'day friends and welcome to another one of my videos. Today I'm gonna finally do it. I'm doing a what's in my camera bag video. So as you know, I'm a big fan of the Canon M50 for travel, vlogging and travel photography. It is a compact, lightweight camera and I'm totally sold on it. I'm actually using it right now. But today's video is about all the other accessories and all the other peripherals that I take along with me so I can maintain a nice, compact, light travel kit when it comes to this camera. So if you want to find out what's in my camera bag, well then stick around. And welcome back. Well, the first thing we're going to look at is the bag. So this is my Manfrotto Pro Light bag, and it is a sling. So it's not like a backpack. It actually does have just one strap, but it also has the camera straps, so you can keep your camera on your side and slide it across just in case you want to do some photography. I don't primarily use that part of it, but it is quite spacious when it comes to this camera. So obviously it has enough room, enough pockets to actually slip your camera in there, and then it has all the other bits and pieces or spaces to put all my other accessories that I'm going to go through. So this is a very compact and lightweight bag. It's really easy to sort of carry around with you, especially when you're lugging around other luggage with you when you're traveling and you are in airports and things like that. Great thing about it is you just put this whole bag with the whole kit inside the through the X-ray machine, and I rarely have any troubles with it. It does have a space in the bag, in the back, sorry, to actually put like an iPad. So that's the iPad case. Okay, the next bit of kit is my selfie stick, or my, I guess, tabletop tripod. So this thing is pretty good. It's from Surui. They actually make some pretty nice tripods as well, very light carbon fiber tripods, but this one's primarily that I use for vlogging. It is the model 3T35K. Now, I don't like Gorilla Pods. I just don't get them, right? Obviously, if you want to put them on a tree or something where it's not going to fall out, I get it for those sort of purposes. But all I need is for something to hang on to, sorry. But then also at the same time, that's enough adjustment so I can either fix the head or put it down on a table, and it's going to be nice and stable. So I really like this particular one. The other feature of it too is that I can remove the head, and then I can use the head on either on a different tripod or something else. So I'm pretty content with this one. I've had it for quite some time, and I think it does the job for me. So that's a pretty good one. Okay, so the other bit of kit is my Genie Mini, which is a little turntable, and I've done a video on this before, so I'll put a link on that side if you guys want to see that video, or how I did a road test on this one. So this is a little revolving platform, and I love this because it's great for doing moving time lapses. It has a great app that is connected via Bluetooth, where you can control it and the movement of this particular little platform. But the other thing I like about it too is obviously it's got a 3/4 inch screw, and then I can also put in my Surui head from my monopod or from my little selfie stick, and I can use it like that, and the camera sits nice and steady on top of that. So another little bit of kit that normally sits in my bag. So the last two products were primarily on stabilization, a good selfie stick to actually make sure you get some cool vlogging, some headshots as you walk around or whatever, but as well as that little tripod and Genie Mini to get some nice panning shots or time lapses. They're really helpful. As far as sound is concerned, I can't go past the Rode Video Micro. It is an awesome little mic that is built like a tank. Now, as you know, in my previous video, I lost the dead cat. And without the dead cat, this thing really is very sensitive. So you really need some wind cover to make sure that it doesn't pick up the wind, especially when you're outside. Indoors, not a problem. So it is really something that it's a must because EOS M50, the mics built-in mics in the camera aren't that great, and this does a great job. Now, if I forget this or something happens like I did the other day, I also have backups, right? So my first backup is the Zoom H1, which is great because obviously you can use it to record sound when you are and about. If you want to catch some atmospheric sounds, it's great for that. And then you can sort of cut it into your video as needed. So that's a pretty good one. It's got obviously memory, and you can put a SD card in there for as long as you want. It requires a AA battery, which I've got a spare in the bag as well, and it's a great backup. Now, the other thing that this is good for, and as you can notice, I've got a lapel mic. And that lav mic, it's actually connected to this device, right? So you can use it as a backup mic in case you want to sort of be far away from the camera, so you can capture your voice when you're standing further away if you want a bigger, wider shot. So that's very helpful. H1 in conjunction with the lav mic, which is also a Rode mic. Now I'll show you this particular one now. So as you can see, use an adapter because this particular mic is primarily used for iOS devices. Now this is when they used to have the TSSR mic, which is the old plug. But now since they've gone to the proprietary plug, this is kind of useless for the iPhone. I can use it for the iPad, but that's about it. But I need that adapter in order to actually put it into the camera, and it works great. I mean, I've never had any issues with it. Like I said, plugging it into the H1 works just as well, and it's great little nifty devices to actually have with your camera for as far as audio is concerned. So how about power, you may ask? Well, one of the things on my wish list for the M50 or future version of the M50 is to be able to be charged by USB. Now, the camera doesn't charge you by USB, which is a shame because it would have been such a cool feature. But because it doesn't, well, I have to carry around this little power charging kit with obviously wall plug to charge the batteries. I also carry an extra battery, but from experience, I'm going to have to get a new one. I think the minimum you should take is about 3 with you. That way you have enough backup for what you do during the day, and in case you need to shoot even more, then you've got a backup for that. But I also carry this Jackery power brick, which is it's got enough charge to charge whatever I want, whether it's the Genie Mini, whether it's the iPad that I carry around, or even my mobile phone if I run out of battery. That's really great because it's got a lot of charge in it. And then you also have to take all your little peripheral accessory cables. So I've got the iPad one, and I've got a USB to USB, micro USB, but I do need to add a USB to micro USB or USB-C in order to complete the kit. Hopefully one day everything will be USB-C, and then we'll just carry one cable that does everything, which would be awesome. Now, as far as storage is concerned, I always take my little red box of SD cards. So I've got a lot of backups and spares in there, USB micro that I use for primarily action cam, if I take that with me. Or the drone, obviously, the DJI Mavic Air. So I carry all that with me. But I also take a backup. So inside my kit, I have actually got an iPad mini. Now the mini, I use it primarily either to store videos, quick videos or short videos that I want to post on social media on the fly, as well as keep you know, some pictures that I want to put on Instagram. If I want to edit them or, you know, like sort of touch them up a little bit, I can transfer them to my iPad. As you know, there is a app with the M50 that you can connect wirelessly from the M50 to the iPad and transfer images, but I usually don't bother with that. So I've got a little USB SD card dongle for the iPad, so I just put the SD card in there and transfer the images using the dongle, which is so much faster and more convenient. The only issue that I have is that if the images are in RAW, the iPad kind of has a bit of trouble, so it actually does do JPEGs quite easily, but you need to install something like Lightroom for the iPad in order to get all those images off it so you can use them. But that's what I use for storage. So now I'm getting to the end of the kit. So as you know, apart from the camera itself, I carry a few lenses with me. The 11-22, which is you know, the wide angle, which I've got on the camera right now. So that's pretty helpful because I can obviously you know, use that and get myself in the shot and have nice wide angles as well if I want to include more I guess field of view in the actual film. But then I also carry the stock lens that came when I bought the camera, the 15-45 millimeters. Still a very, very good lens that is very practical and has a lot of uses for it. The only thing I don't have yet is the wider telephoto lens. I'll get that at a later time, but I really don't have much use for it. And the last review obviously that I did was on the 22 millimeter pancake lens. Now, this is great for macro, but because it doesn't have stabilization in it, I tend to shy away from it unless I want to get nice blurry backgrounds. But I obviously need to use a tripod or the table tripod in order to stabilize it, or else it's just way too shaky. Now, with that, I carry some neutral density filters. So I've got two. So one of them I originally bought for the stock lens that came with the camera. What I found is that when I bought the next lens, I had to buy a separate size because the lenses don't have standard diameter, which is a bit of a pain. And then when I bought the third lens, it came yet in another size, but I didn't buy another neutral density filter. What I did is I just bought a little adapter, so then I can just use that adapter on the lens and then couple it in order to actually save myself a bit of money and not have to carry so many neutral density filters in my bag. So that's kind of it as far as what's in the bag. The lucky last thing that I recently purchased is what I'm using right now is a light. Now, the brand of this light is called Sunway Photo. Obviously a nice new Chinese company that does a lot of tripod accessories, ball heads and things like that. But they're into the LED lights as well now. And this little portable device is really nifty. I love it. It has about 1 hour's worth of light using it at its maximum lighting, which is about 6400 Kelvin, which is really bright. And I'm using it right now because the room that I'm in at the hotel is very, very dim. The sun still hasn't sort of hit the window, and so I needed some lighting. So this light is doing the job really well. And I'm so happy with the purchase. So if you're looking for something portable and bright and has at least an hour's worth of charge, I can recommend the Sunway Photo. So that's it, my friends. That is the What's in My Bag, the M50 edition. I hope that you find it useful. Obviously, I've left the links to all the items on this video and the descriptions below. And until the next time, ciao for now.